What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Be the Fish. Today we are going to walk through how I set up my Hobie Pro Angler 14. So I've been getting a lot of questions about this, of like, how do you set up your kayak? Why do you set up your kayak? How do you set up Mega Live? How do you set up Mega 360 on your kayak? And I'm just going to give you guys the whole laydown, how I rig it up. I'm going to walk through the entire thing, how I rig it up, why I rig it up. And if you guys have any questions throughout this episode of me walking through this stuff, my social media is down below. You could also use the YouTube comments. Please feel free to reach out if you have any other questions that I did not answer in this video. Let's get into it. All right, so we will start from the back and work our way to the front. Obviously, we have our Hobie H crate right here. That has all my tackle, has some of my extra GoPro things like GoPro batteries, GoPro SD cards, all just different accessories. That way it's in there. It's in the more waterproof, it's not waterproof, more water resistant thing, where if it rains, it's not going to get in there as much. And then on that, I have a Hobie ram mount right here for my camera mount. The reason the camera's not on there is because this is the camera. And I have down to a battery pack that runs that all day long. Runs it for like 3 different days without charging it. And then the nice things about the Hobie is they have that sucker right here on both sides, so I can put my paddle down. It's quick, easy access. Just pop it out. It's good to go if I need it in a pinch. And then sometimes I put different waters and stuff back here, just kind of have them floating around. I really don't have a system for waters. You can kind of make it what you want with this kind of loose space here for like water bottles or food, or I usually put like my lunch box for tournaments and stuff right there if I have long days in the water. And then we'll kind of work the inside and then take you guys to the outside where there's the more complex stuff. So chair, nothing crazy. Kayak cushion on here. I'm going to get another kayak cushion for the back. And then Hobie backpack to put things like gloves, extra buffs, you know, like my scale, different things like that. Extra shades in case I forget it, sunscreen, stuff like that. I put my keys in there. And then I usually put kind of tools here on the side, but what I do actually with my pliers, so I don't have them all on the side, I usually just have them right here. That way I can take them out, put them right back in if I need them. That way it's not just something else white, because it has the cable on it. That way I don't lose it. One less cable I have on the sides, being that I have so much electronics. And with the PA-14, got some rods here, got some rods there, and it obviously has 3 different slots. I can fit almost 20 rods, if not more. I haven't really tried to max it out just yet, but I have fit just about 20 rods in there with the additional rods back here. If you want to go crazy, like absolute bonkers, and bring a lot of rods, you have enough storage space for all that. So that kind of runs through that quick. There is storage space down here below the seat if you want it. Then it really goes down to the graphs here. These are where I've been getting a bunch of questions, because you typically don't see 2 graphs on a lot of kayaks, at least not graphs that are this big. So this is a Helix 9 G4N and a Helix 10 G4N, both the side imaging models. That way they have the same capability, just different size. And this one I use to run my mapping, my side scan, 2D, down imaging, all that jazz. And the 10 is primarily for 360 and Mega Live. Now, I have not taken them out at the same time. This is only primarily stage up right here. That way you guys, I can walk through it with you and you can visually see it. Usually I take one or the other. So these graphs obviously have their mounts that come into these side plates right here and right there. They go into the hull and then through it. I can kind of show you guys that as well. And then 360 and Live is actually in that pocket right there, and I'll walk through that in a second. But I have those 2 graphs because I fish offshore so much, so having those 2 Helix units is a big help. And having them stored like that, honestly, this does not tip like that as much. You notice a slight difference to the left, obviously, with a lot of weight here, but you can also counterbalance that with your rods on the right side, and also having Mega Live or 360. So here, obviously I have Mega Live. It says Humminbird Mega Live. I have it on an angler or a fishing specialties mount, and that comes with the plate here, and it is simply a Hobie plate mount right there. That's along the side. For 360, it is also the same. It is a ram ball mount on the rail, a connector piece, same ram ball mount because it fits that 360 rod perfectly, and I can easily adjust that, bring it up if I want, then I can put it down and then lock it in. It's all just a matter of preference, where I'm fishing, how I'm fishing, what is more efficient for that day, if I'm going to bring live or 360. Lately it's been a lot of live, more for the fact that I got forward facing sonar about almost a year ago, and I've just been trying to really get good with it and really get that dialed in into an efficiency standpoint, but also not at the point where I'm obsessive compulsive over it. That is why I have that on here. And this is super easy because this is able to swing freely 360 degrees. And what might be the most important part of that scenario, under my pedals here, straightforward, nothing crazy there, is this right here. That might be the most important part. That is an X2 Power 50 amp lithium battery. It's a 12 volt marine lithium that powers these suckers for 2 full days. I actually have not run it dry just yet, but I have run it for 2 days thus far without losing any power. So getting to the front, the last part here, open up this front hatch. Now this is a lot cleaner than usual. You can see my kayak's pretty dirty. We've been frogging and flipping and making a mess of it. This is where I keep all my soft plastics. You're gonna have 2 bags here. I have, my leader line with some, dye and some super glue. Usually this thing is packed to the brim. Usually I'm always bringing way too much stuff. And obviously this is a big case here. You guys can kind of see the depth of that in comparison. You can bring a lot of stuff out there. And that locks tight, makes it super easy. Now for the tournament anglers, you gotta obviously have your catch board. I don't have it with me, but I bungee this and strap it to the kayak. I have that Rogue fishing strap. That's all I do with it. I tether it to the chair right here. That way it's no way to get off. And all I do is slide that sucker back all the way. And obviously the reel's in the way at the moment, but it slides all the way to the back. That way all I gotta do is bring it out, lay it, good to go. Of course, last but not least, the most important part of all this is your PFD. I choose a Mustang. I believe in the Mustang, not affiliated with them, but they have a reputation for a reason. And that really does it for the setup. There's nothing, I guess, too crazy. It is pretty more on the extreme side of kayaks, especially when it comes to electronics. And I also I'm a little excessive with too many rods, too much tackle, too much a lot of things, and it definitely slows me down a little bit. But we put those thunder thighs to work and get pedal to the middle, cover a lot of ground. But it is the ultimate rig for me, especially ultimate tournament rig. Especially if you're a tournament angler and you're on the Hobie BOS series where there's no motors allowed. That would be the next step in this rig, is putting on a Torpedo or a bow mounted trolling motor, whether it's Minn Kota or Motor Guide. That would be the next step. Right now I'm just not at that stage where I want it / need it. It's a great workout because I graph a lot, put on a lot of miles, and a motor would be nice, but this is the ultimate tournament rig in my mind, in my personal opinion. So hope you guys like that. It was kind of a glimpse at what I use, why I use it, why I like the PA14. If you're in the Northeast and you're looking to get a Hobie, call up the folks at Morgan Marine. I will link it down below. They will hook you up. Ryan and team over there are amazing people, and they know how to set up a Hobie, and that's why I call him the Hobie Mad Scientist. And a lot of this brainchild is from him. So it's all credit to Ryan and his team over there. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, share this with your friends, and we'll see you on the next one.